Hey guys, Chad here, Happy Viking Games. Today we're going to do something a little different. It's going to be kind of like a ruling video where we're going to go over some of the new rules that they've changed recently, and a ruling that it's very confusing to a lot of people, a lot of new players. This is Brian.
Hi.
He's our store judge, pretty much.
Yep.
And I'm going to let him take it away and explain what we're doing.
The newest iteration of the trigger rules is a lot more convenient for players and judges than the old ones. Under the old trigger rules, you would have to announce all of your triggers manually when they happen. So for example, this creature, Daring Skyjack, has a triggered ability. Triggered abilities are generally pretty easy to recognize. They're worded as whenever X happens, do Y. So in this case, whenever your Daring Skyjack and two other creatures attack, it gains flying until end of turn. Really simple, straightforward ability. So let's say under the old trigger rules, you go in to attack with your team. You would have to manually announce, okay, this creature, the battalion trigger happens, he has flying. Under the new trigger rules, instead of doing that, you can go attack, and then when your opponent goes to block, you just tell them, no, my creature has flying, you can't block him with your ground guy, and that's perfectly acceptable. This creates a lot less trouble for both players and judges. The most important thing, though, is remember to just clearly communicate with the other player. If you're talking to the opponent and you're being very clear about everything that's happening on the board, you shouldn't have any troubles really in a competitive play.
Okay, so the second thing we're going to talk about is interaction between Death Touch and Trample and what happens when things are blocking. So, Brian, yeah.
Alright, so in this example, we are attacking with a Gorkline Rampager. It's a 4/4 with Trample, attacking into your opponent's creatures. They've got a 2/2 and a 3/1. Now, normally, assuming there's no Death Touch involved, your opponent will double block here. You'll assign 2 damage here, which is lethal, 1 damage here, which is also lethal, and 1 to your opponent's face. Pretty simple. Now, let's say you add in Death Touch. We're going to Blood Rush this guy using Wasteland Viper. That gives it +1/+2 and Death Touch. So let's assume your opponent has already blocked the same way. Now, with Death Touch, any damage the creature deals is considered lethal damage. So you can assign, instead of 2 points of damage, you can assign 1 point here. That's considered lethal for the Death Touch, or for the Death Cult Rogue. 1 on Daring Skyjack, it's the same, it only has 1 toughness. And then 3 damage to your opponent's face, as now it's got 3 remaining points, and it's got 5 power to assign.
So basically, it doesn't matter, like, even if they're blocking with a 5/4, an 8/8, or a 30/30, right? You can just assign 1 and then trample over.
Yep, that's exactly right.
So
remember, this is a little tricky interaction. We get tons of judge calls on these, but just remember, if there's Death Touch involved, 1 point's all you need.
Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed the video. For more rulings and stuff, we'll be doing more videos and stuff. Put in the comments any rulings you're confused about or you want an explanation of, and we'll do it for you. Thanks.
Yep.